Are you tired of the 9-to-5 lifestyle? Do you want more freedom to do what you want, when you want it, without sacrificing your current income? Then this is the show for you. Every week, we dive into John's journey towards financial freedom and everything he has learned since 2014. Real estate investing, cryptocurrency, stocks, private lending, foreign residency, tax saving strategies, infinite banking, assets protection, and much more. Now, here is your host, the founder of the Wealth and Freedom Nexus, John Rickgarn.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're listening to this. This is John Rickgarn again, your host of the Wealth and Freedom Nexus podcast. And today we have a great guest joining us, Courtney Moeller, and basically talk a little bit about cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin. Courtney and I met on the Real Estate Guys Summit on Sand about 6 months ago in Belize, and she was alongside other speakers such as Robert Kiyosaki, Ken McElroy, Garrett Gammon, among others. And while I've studied, learned a little bit about crypto and have invested in it the last 12, 15 months, I've gotten a pretty good understanding of it, but I myself was really impressed with Courtney and how she was able to explain it almost in layman's terms, or even with a simple graphic that a 4-year-old could almost understand. So with that, and since I've gotten asked by so many people, what is cryptocurrency? What is blockchain? Is this a scam? Some people say, is this here to stay? So with that, I will pass it on to Courtney. Courtney, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, John.
You bet.
I always welcome any opportunity to talk to people about crypto. It is definitely my passion.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention to my listeners, Courtney is affectionately referred to as the blockchain babe by Robert Helms. So I got to do that little post there as well. I thought it was kind of funny.
You know what? I created a costume just for fun for Robert. We were at a Halloween party, and I made the Bitcoin Babe blockchain costume just for fun.
So, oh, nice. I'll have to check that
maybe
out.
I'll wear it to the investment summit this summer.
Oh, there you go. So, Courtney, maybe you can give my listeners just a little bit of a background on yourself, your story, and maybe how and why you got into the blockchain and cryptocurrency space.
Sure. So I actually come from an oil and gas background. My dad was a petroleum engineer. And so everything that I've always done has been in oil and gas. So, gosh, we've drilled over 60 wells throughout West Texas. And, we've got wells in natural gas, all the way up in Pennsylvania even. So, when prices of oil are good, it's great. But when they're down, when everything you have is in oil and gas, it can be pretty tough. So here a couple of years ago, my husband and I decided to diversify our portfolio a little bit. We were really heavy oil and gas and then stocks. And I thought, okay, we really need to get into some real estate, into some other assets. And my husband was like, we should buy some Bitcoin. And I was like, well, okay, I'll check that out. And, I looked and the price had really dipped and I thought, okay, let's grab onto that. And then I started researching it and I came across these guys that have the Crypt Nation platform, and they had written a book called The Crypto Revolution, and they had a Crypto 101 podcast, which actually is the #1 crypto podcast out there. And so I joined their group, and they had this great learning platform where, they taught you what exchanges to use, what they really kind of go over a lot of the tokens and the coins and the projects and what they're doing, why they're important, why you want to be interested and invested in them. And so I really dove in, and, when I really started learning about all the different ways that cryptocurrency and blockchain and everything else is being used to really change our world and affect all of the different spaces in our life, I think I went down 100 different rabbit holes, and I still haven't surfaced.
Oh,
So
those lovely rabbit holes, aren't they fun?
yes, yes. And so, I mean, that is literally all I do all day long, every day is, looking at the markets, what people are doing, reading news articles, and there's so many exciting things going on. There's cities being built completely running off a blockchain and off of Bitcoin. And, El Salvador adopted Bitcoin here not too long ago, and they are actually mining Bitcoin with their volcano, which is
wow.
amazing. So there's some pretty incredible things going on out there. And like I said, it's affecting every different industry that there is. And I think eventually one day, everything that we do will run on blockchain. So
okay. Interesting. And I think I heard is Ukraine talking about instituting Bitcoin, or I think there was another country that was
I'm
close
not
to
sure if
announcing.
Ukraine is. I know like the president of El Salvador has talked to 30 other different presidents of countries about adopting it. There's so much going on. There's an actual cities that are being built off of Bitcoin in Africa and South America right now as we speak. So Dubai has a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of places, and I actually have a website that I follow that shows all of the different digital currencies, like central bank digital currencies that are being researched or implemented or already put into place. So, I mean, it's going on all over the place.
Interesting.
And really, if you think about it, our current banking system really is a digital banking system. I mean, it's really just a centralized ledger of people moving, adding zeros, to ledgers. So that's really all it is.
Right. And well, nowadays when they talk about the Fed printing money, well, I don't know, maybe 1% is physically printed, but it's just extra numbers going into banking assets and their ledgers. So
that's exactly right. I think I read a statistic the other day that said, actually, I think it was 7% of the money in the world is actually in cash, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
Which is really small. It's a really small percentage.
All right. Now, Courtney, probably one of the biggest questions I get, and, this is among family and friends, and, I get text messages, Facebook messages, emails. And I think probably the, biggest thing is there's a lot of confusion and maybe, mistaking what blockchain is and then what cryptocurrency is. Obviously, Bitcoin's probably the most familiar. And I think a lot of people either confuse the two, cryptocurrency and blockchain, or they think they're just one and the same. Could you maybe break those two down as to, what they are and how they work together?
Yeah. So that is probably one of the biggest barriers that we're having right now, especially as we're rolling out like tokenized real estate and so many different things are coming out. When you talk about, blockchain and Bitcoin or anything like, or crypto, people automatically, go straight to Bitcoin and the volatility and things like that. So blockchain, just in probably the easiest way to explain, is just a system of computers. And for Bitcoin specifically, it's over 10,000 computers that is worldwide. They're spread out everywhere. And let's say I'm going to send you some Bitcoin. I go in, I send it to your wallet. All over 10,000 of these computers perform these complicated math equations to calculate and verify that, yes, Courtney sent John some Bitcoin. And once they've all agreed on that, it is written onto the block. And it's written in a hash, and that information is timestamped and stored as a hash. Then say another transaction or something happens, it's written on its own new block, but that block has the hash from the previous block, which is how that chain is created. So, and it's decentralized, which means that it's not controlled by a central agency like a government or a banking system or anything. It's completely run by the people, which is what's so great about it. So it's immutable, which means it cannot be changed. So in order for the Bitcoin blockchain to be hacked, you would have to go in and take control of over 51% of the computers. So, I mean, would it be possible? I mean, I guess nothing is impossible, but that would be very, very difficult for somebody to go in and take control of over 51% of the computers. So, so the technology is really incredible. Now, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and that it was built, it is the first blockchain. Now, blockchain originally came about back in the early 90s. Bitcoin came out in 2008, but we actually had the technology in the early 90s. And I cannot think of the two gentlemen that created it. It was very basic at that time. So obviously it has evolved significantly since then. And, Bitcoin is just a coin that was written on that blockchain. And that's another thing, you've got coins and you've got tokens. Coins have their own blockchain, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, but then you have tokens, which are coins that are built on a blockchain. And like the native token for crypto.com, when it first came out, it was a token, but now it has its own blockchain. So now it is a coin. So the technology, the blockchain technology, that's, there's the coins. The coins are more, they're kind of almost like stocks. You can buy in and out of them. The prices vary based on their demands, and they're at right now very volatile still. But the technology is just what it was built on. So when you take in like the real estate tokenization and things like that, we're utilizing smart contracts and the technology to perform those functions, and it has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It's just the technology itself.
Okay, interesting.
Hopefully all of that made sense.
No, yes, it definitely did. So basically kind of the blockchain per se, there isn't just one blockchain, there's obviously several blockchains. More of the infrastructure per se, and maybe the coins, tokens, like stocks, you can maybe think of the blockchain as the road systems, and on that road system you have a Tesla, you have a Ford pickup, you have a diesel truck, you have
that's exactly
solar powered car.
Yes, that's a great analogy. So yes, so blockchain is that road system, and then all these coins and projects are what are built onto that road system.
Gotcha.
That's a perfect analogy. I love that. I'm going to steal that from you, but I'll give you credit.
No, that's fine. Go ahead and steal. And now, so on top of the blockchain, we have the infrastructure, then obviously the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and the and now what seems to be exploding, and I will admit I'm not an expert in this at all, is the NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. And just the other day, and I'll put a link in the show notes, there was someone that had $650,000 to blow on basically a digital yacht on the Facebook metaverse. And now there's these digital monkeys that people will spend $1 million or more on, and it's just like a photograph pretty much.
Cartoons.
Or cartoons, or pretty much anything now. With that, what exactly are NFTs? How did they play into this? And is a digital monkey really worth $1 million? Or, how does this all play into the blockchain area?
Oh gosh, as far as that value goes, I guess it's just is it valuable? Is it worth that to the person that bought it? I guess it is. When NFTs first started rolling out and we really started seeing all this digital art, I thought it was crazy. And I thought, these people have lost their minds. They really have. Like, who is spending millions of dollars on a digital picture that's sitting in a digital wallet that you can't do anything with? So, non-fungible tokens, that's what NFT means. And non-fungible means that there's not another one like it. So where like dollars are fungible, even though they're not exactly the same, a $1 bill is a $1 bill. So non-fungible means that there's not another one like it. So, as far as the digital art goes, I was really questioning what was coming out of that, and I didn't really understand why people would spend money on that. But as that has evolved, they've got these casters that are coming out now, where you will have these digital picture frames that you can hang on your wall. You can use your TV or your computer as a way to display your images, but you'll be able to go through and display your images just like you do your regular art. And you can create an entire experience with it. You can have it, roll through your entire collection. You can add music to it. You can do all kinds of things. It's actually kind of cool. But I think probably, I think the gaming industry is going to have a big play in the NFT space. My kids play Fortnite. We've spent gosh, we could probably pay for 10 kids' educations, based on the amount of money we've spent on skins. And so, but when you buy those skins and things in these games, you bought them, but you don't really own them because you can't take them off of that platform.
Okay.
So there's a lot of companies that are coming out with skins and clothes and all kinds of things that you'll be able to buy that you can keep in your wallet that you'll be able to utilize in different games and things like that. So that's great. And now we're actually seeing real use cases to me, in my mind, for NFTs, in that like Carnomaly is coming out with VINs. All cars VINs will be NFTs. So they've already partnered with the National Motor Vehicle Title Administration, and they're in the kind of the beginning works of that. But all cars and all of their data will be stored on the blockchain, which is really great because you'll be able to pull up that vehicle. You'll be able to see the title history, the maintenance history, and accident history, and everything of that vehicle immediately, which is fantastic. Gone will be the days of people, rolling back their odometers and all of that, so all of that history will be there. So, and even people, I know a gentleman the other day that has launched a storage unit fund, and he created an NFT out of that. So it's really starting to roll through, and I think we'll see a lot of use case for it in real estate and things like that moving forward.
Sure. Yeah, I know. And with my background, I mean, I've been a real estate investor for 5 years, and I'm been a real estate agent for about 2 years. And I've even kind of, thought, fast forward 2025, 2030, or maybe sooner, with the transactions I've been in of, okay, do you have the title? Oh, yep, here's the title. Oh, well, we have to go to Torrens and get it cleared up, or we're missing the abstract, or, well, we don't have an abstract, or we lost it. And then there's, a missing history. Oh, there's no liens in this property. Well, no, over here there is a mechanics lien. And with it, I probably see, to my friends in the title industry, I not sure how this will affect your jobs, obviously, but having that open source where many people can, look at that blockchain that is unhackable and can't be changed. Obviously it can be updated, but then the entire history of that 1900 colonial home of, okay, Courtney's family owned it in the 50s, the Rick Garns owned it in the 2000, there was a fire claim in 2010, and so forth. I think that alone would probably be very beneficial to any real estate owner versus all the unknowns.
Absolutely. Well, and when you start putting title insurance on and title history on the blockchain, I mean, how much money do people spend in title policies every single time they buy and sell any kind of property? It's so expensive. And if you have this property and nothing has changed in that title policies written on the blockchain, you have now eliminated that need to continue to repurchase that. So that's going to be a huge savings.
Yeah, I could see that because right now with transactions, and I advise my clients like, well, I mean, you can get title insurance or you can get a title opinion, and the opinion's a lot cheaper. Essentially, a lawyer looks over it and yep, everything looks good, couldn't find anything, here's my check mark. But while it's cheaper and may give you a peace of mind, if something came up down the line of, oh crap, there was this mechanics lien that the attorney missed, well, then you're kind of screwed. The attorney's like, well, sorry, I took a look at it, looked fine. So yeah, I could definitely see this in, real estate and, other avenues besides just the Bitcoins and digital yachts and monkeys and everything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're working on a digital asset platform now where you'll be able to tokenize real estate, and, you'll be able to trade in and out of it, actually kind of like the stock market. So the asset will be there. And once you token it, really, it's a digital security. And so it's kind of like, it's just like having it broken down into shares like stocks. And if you own a certain part, you can sell part of it and hang on to part of it, or you can take loans out against the shares that you own. So it's going to be a big deal as well. And all of the information will be stored on blockchain. And so the smart contracts are a big deal as well, because they're kind of an if this situation happens, then this happens. So they're kind of an if-then situation. So if you've got, 100 people invested in your project, you can put all of that in smart contracts on the blockchain. So your dividends are paid out, everything is done and taken care of on blockchain. So we're really excited to roll that out.
And with the blockchain, there would be more like automated where if Courtney sells her shares of the real estate, then the dividends are not paid out and the shares are available for purchase, or however that may work. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it's very cool. And we're seeing more and more things roll out in the tokenized real estate world too, which is really exciting. Yeah.
As far as obviously you've researched this a lot more, and in it every day, where I'm not, where it comes to learning about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and there's wallets, there's exchanges, hard wallets, soft wallets, cold wallets, cold storage, etc. Amongst all the, I'm sure, hundreds of options available, what wallets and exchanges and resources would you recommend, or have you maybe had the best luck with, or see as the most stable out there?
That's a really, really great question, because there's so many out there, and they're in all of these different countries, and a lot of them are not regulated. And, I've seen people that have gone in and some of these random exchanges, they put their money in and then the exchange closes up and disappears. So you've just got to be really careful. And the same thing with wallets and different apps, different crypto apps that pop up in your app stores on your phones. You've got to be careful with those too. But I would say probably for Americans, and it's different depending on what country you live in, but for America, Coinbase is one of my favorites. Coinbase, regular Coinbase, and then Coinbase Pro. Crypto.com is another one of my favorites. And then you've got Kraken and Gemini are both good as well. And then KuCoin is another one that I use quite frequently. So, and the reason I use so many different exchanges is because not all coins and tokens are listed on one exchange. There's a lot of the newer projects will list on KuCoin, and then once they've made a little more, proven themselves a little bit more, they'll get listed on, a bigger exchange like Coinbase. But like Gemini and Coinbase, they are United States companies. They're regulated. They're very safe. They have insurance. So does Crypto.com. I use Crypto.com a lot because you can buy there, but also they have staking features, which is what allows you to earn interest on your tokens and your coins. They have a Crypto.com Visa card, and so you can get money back through that. So I'm always using everything I can to, add to my positions and earn more, all the time. Everything I can do to make more, I'm in it.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, and myself, Gemini, I probably have the most of my holdings in right now. I actually, a company called IRA Financial, I opened up a self-directed Roth account, put in number of crypto holdings, just sold some stocks, rolled it over. Kind of back to what you said with the staking. Now I have, several thousands or hundreds of thousands of Satoshis and a couple of Ethereum and Litecoin, and they're earning interest. And if they take off, if Bitcoin hits 100,000 or more, I look at as okay, I can capitalize on those gains and be tax free. Where I know Joe Biden's trying to push maybe higher taxes, or higher capital gains taxes, or maybe ordinary income tax rates. I mean, who knows?
How about those unrealized gains taxes?
Oh boy, don't even get me started on that one. It's like, okay, so can we claim child credits on unrealized children? I mean, how far do we want to take this? That's a whole nother concept that I think is ridiculous. But I'm a big Roth fan. I figure, I'm probably not going to hit it big or out of the park like Peter Thiel or Mitt Romney. But hey, if I can put some assets and it goes 10x or 100x, sorry, IRS, I paid my taxes. I'm going to have a tax-free retirement after that.
That's right. Well, Gemini was founded by the Winklevoss twins. So,
that's right. I think trying to think back to my astrology days, Gemini is the whatever Greek symbol of twins or something like that. So
I actually am a Gemini. So
okay. I'm an Aquarius, so I don't know what that means.
Personality disorder, maybe. Well, and let's see. You said wallets too. So some of the different wallets now. There are hot wallets and cold wallets.
Mm-hmm.
And so hot wallets are connected to the internet.
Okay.
And cold wallets are not. So cold wallets are going to be like they look like little USB sticks. So you've got appraisers and ledgers, and then hot wallets is going to be like your Trust wallet, Exodus wallet, things like that. So, and I keep all of my crypto kind of spread in all of these different places. You know, I've got some being staked on exchanges, I've got some in hot wallets, and I've got some in cold wallets, because you don't ever want to keep all of your eggs in one basket. So
no, totally agree. And then the kind of back to the, exchanges, whether it's the staking or the Gemini, I'm assuming if it's on a hot wallet or connected to the internet, then you can have a loan taken out against it or interest. But if it's on a cold, then it's off. That's basically just sits there.
Right. Well, they've actually, like Ledger has just implemented features where you can actually stake some of your coins that are on your ledger. And so I haven't utilized that feature yet. The things that I have in cold storage are in cold storage, and I don't keep them connected to anything. So now the staking, and I actually do take out loans. I guess probably my very favorite exchange, it's not an exchange, app that I use for loans is called Celsius.
Okay.
So you can go in and do a 25% loan to value loan against your Bitcoin or Ethereum, or they've got a ton of different coins that they'll loan against, and for 25% loan to value is only a 1% interest rate. So
wow, not bad at all.
No, it's super, it's great. So I will go in, I'll take out a loan, and when Bitcoin goes up another $20,000, I'll do another loan, pay off the first one, and then buy more Bitcoin with the excess of it. So I'm adding to my position that way.
Yep, just keep rolling it. Yeah, I got a small amount in Celsius. I've used BlockFi, Nexo, and My Constant are probably the other that I use for lending capabilities.
Yeah, BlockFi is good, and Vald is another one that I like as well. So it used to be Bank of Hodlers. It rebranded maybe a year ago or so. I don't know. My sense of time is totally skewed over this last 2 years. But
sure.
Vald is good, but BlockFi and Nexo are good too. I use both of those as well.
Okay. And that Vault, is that like Vault, but with a D at the end, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, for any of you listening, working out, driving, walking the dogs, whatever, I'll have all these resources listed in the show notes, so you don't have to rewind and try to figure out how to spell these and Google these and find them like I've had to do on numerous podcasts. So, Courtney, at the time of this recording, we are, December 2nd. Looking to go or publish on podcast platforms around the world middle of December, going into 2022. And again, disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is solely for educational and informational purposes only. What do you see as far as, what 2022 brings, or your crystal ball? Is there a Cardona going to be the next Bitcoin, or is SHIB going to go up to $20 a coin, or something along those lines?
Okay, well, in order for SHIB to go up to $20 a coin, it's going to have to overtake Bitcoin's market cap. So I'm going to go with a negative on that one.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I think if we can get to 1 cent, that would be pretty amazing too.
Sure.
So, we have really, I am always researching and listening to this, every 4 years when Bitcoin halves, it goes through this cycle, and it's pretty much been the same after every halving. So we have reached a point now where we've had such mass adoption with institutions and Michael Saylor and everything that's rolled out, that we've been trying to figure out, is this finally going to be the cycle where we break that traditional cycle that we've always seen? So generally, if history repeated itself, this December, at the end of this year, we would go into a bear market after December, and be in a bear market for the next couple years until we had the next halving. I don't think that we're going to see that this time. I think we're going to see $100,000 much sooner than we think. I really thought we were going to see it by the end of December. We've been trending in this $55,000 to $60,000 range for a while. So I'm curious to see. I think we're going to come out of that pretty soon. The one great thing about it is the longer it trends in this range, and builds that resistance level, the bigger resistance it is when Bitcoin does go back up and then comes back down. So it will be harder for it to punch through it. So shorter term, I think we're going to see 150, 200,000 in 2022 very easily. I think that we will see it hit 7 figures here within the next 5 years.
Okay.
So, and as far as these other projects, Cardano, I have a huge holding of Cardano. I'm a big, follower of Cardano. I've been a little bit disappointed in their rolling out of smart contracts. Everything seems to kind of be delayed. And you've got other projects like Solana and Polkadot that are nipping at the heels and, solving the problems that Cardano was trying to solve.
Right.
So, I'm real big on Polkadot. They've launched their parachain auctions, and there's a lot of really cool projects that are coming out of that as well. So, gosh, there's so many exciting things going on. There really are, but there's a whole handful. I mean, I think I have 50 different coins and tokens, so I'm pretty well diversified.
Oh, wow.
In my portfolio.
Yeah, I think I'm probably sitting at maybe 10. I have to double check. And yeah, I threw in $100 at SHIB. It's like, let's just see what happens. And if it goes to zero, I'm gonna be just fine.
Well, I think we will see Ethereum hit $20,000 here pretty soon. The Ethereum chart has been much stronger than Bitcoin's chart here recently, and I think it's going to move a lot faster than Bitcoin does. And I tell you what, another really big sector that's kind of launched out right now is all the gaming tokens in the gaming industry. So,
sure.
Yeah, we're seeing. I've just kind of hopped into Sandbox, and we've got Gala has partnered with Sony, and Sandbox partnered. Gosh, I think Microsoft, and I'll have to look at the other company, but they just had a couple of huge investors that invested in them. So I've kind of been adding to some of my, metaverse, these metaverse and gaming tokens. I've been kind of adding into those positions right now.
Okay, interesting.
And then you've got the DeFi space. I'm really big in the decentralized finance, which is going to make up like your Compound, Aave, Maker, those coins. That's the DeFi space, is a lot of where your, decentralized loans and that sort of stuff is coming in.
Okay. And the DeFi, I'm guessing, like you said, decentralized, essentially decentralized finance, right. More of a banking institute, so to speak, without a bank, or?
Yes. And there's really cool things like Compound. A lot of them already offer collateralized loans, but you're actually about to see uncollateralized loans roll out. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on that and seeing what's going to come out of that. And we've got blockchain telephones that are going to be coming out that I'm waiting for those to be issued. I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed that I get to somebody that gets to try it out when it gets launched. So, but yeah, blockchain telephones, Helium's creating internet and all kinds of stuff. So
wow. And I'm on my 4th page of notes as we're recording this podcast. So I myself am going to have a bit of homework to look at on this. So
yeah.
Right. Well, definitely. I can definitely say I've learned quite a few things about the Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency space, and I certainly hope my listeners have as well. Courtney, what's the best way for viewers and listeners to reach out to you or learn more about you and the projects that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm so awful when it comes to social media and everything. I'm really trying to work on that. And so I'm on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a great way to, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm a lot of the podcasts and things that I do end up on LinkedIn. So, and I am working on getting better about sharing things. And so I think we're even going to launch a blockchain newsletter. So that will be coming slowly but surely.
Yeah, and I'm just as guilty. I'm kind of a one-man shop trying to keep up to date with all the social media and post. I use Hootsuite myself. That seems to help with some time savers, but might pull the trigger next year with the virtual assistant overseas to keep on top of all that.
Yes.
So.
But yeah, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. So I'm probably on LinkedIn the most.
I will put those resources in the notes, and be sure to reach out to Courtney if you have any additional questions and concerns, or even just want to pick her brain on cryptocurrencies like I have here. So
I get more emails and more, hey, can we just do a quick Zoom? And absolutely. So I want everybody to be successful. And if I can help shoot somebody down the right path where they are making great gains and making great decisions, I'm all about helping out. So
Awesome. Appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
well, thanks, Courtney, for being on the podcast. I've certainly learned a lot. I hope my listeners have as well. And might definitely have to have you on another time as we go down the 2022 path of what cryptocurrency and blockchain is going to bring us.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, John.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to share, rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. For more updates, check out www.wealthandfreedomnexus.com. Remember, nothing on this show should be considered tax, legal, investment, or professional advice. This show is produced solely for educational and informational purposes. Please consult an appropriate and licensed tax, legal, real estate, or business professional for specific advice for your situation. For distribution or publication rights or media interviews, please contact the host.